He thought the first ping was just another late-night game invite, but it was the sound that would flip his entire life upside down. For 2 years, Eli's closest connection lived behind a username, Cloud9, a voice he'd never seen, a mystery he trusted more than anyone on campus. But the night Cloud whispered, "See you a flying heartbeat," everything changed. Because their first real-life meeting? Yeah, it wasn't a cute surprise. It was Liam Pa, the arrogant guy from class, the one he couldn't stand. And suddenly, Eli had to ask himself the question that would haunt him. What do you do when the person you've fallen for online is the last person you'd ever choose offline? And just when Eli thinks he has the answer, messages start surfacing, secrets glitch into the light, and the line between trust and betrayal blurs fast. He wanted connection. He got a collision. Chapter 1, Ping. The first sound wasn't a word. It was a ping, that bright, familiar Discord chime that meant someone out there was thinking of him. Eli glanced at his monitor, the glow painting blue light across his tired eyes. New message from Cloud9. You online, or ghosting me again? Eli grinned. Ghosting you would be mercy. The chat blinked. Ouch. Meet me in the lobby, loser. That was how it always started. Insults that weren't really insults, late-night game cues that bled into dawn. They'd met 2 years ago on a random matchmaking server, and somehow never stopped talking. Cloud9, real name unknown, was his favorite mystery, quick-witted, cocky, and a little too good at everything. They'd never met. They'd never even exchanged photos. But Eli knew the rhythm of his typing, the way his laughter came through the mic like sunlight through blinds. Tonight felt like any other night. Headset on, controller ready, half-finished ramen cooling beside the keyboard. All right, Cloud's voice crackled through, rich and teasing. You ready to lose again? Eli rolled his eyes. You've never beaten me. You just glitch your way to victory. Glitching is called skill where I'm from. Yeah, where's that? Planet Delusional. Their laughter filled the space between them, warm against the static. Outside Eli's dorm window, rain tapped a steady rhythm, matching the clicks of his controller. For a while, the world was only this. The hum of machines, the rush of digital wind, and a voice that somehow felt closer than anyone on campus. When their team finally lost, Cloud groaned. Tragic. Guess I'll have to comfort myself with your salt. Eli leaned back in his chair, smirking. Try harder, flirt? A pause. Then quietly, you noticed. The words hung there, unexpected and real. Eli's throat went dry. You're not exactly subtle. Cloud laughed softly, not his usual bright laugh, but something lower. Guess I don't want to be. Silence again. Only the rain outside and the faint buzz of his headset. Hey, Cloud said finally. Crazy idea. What if we met? Like, in real life? Eli froze. They'd joked about it before, sure. But hearing it said like that, like an actual invitation, made his stomach twist. Meet? He echoed. Yeah, we've been playing together for 2 years. Might be time to confirm you're not a 40-year-old dad. Eli laughed, nervous. You'd be disappointed if I wasn't. Maybe. I like your voice too much for that. The words shouldn't have mattered as much as they did. But they did. After a beat, Eli said, Fine. Where? Evergreen Cafe, near campus, Saturday. That's really close to my college. No kidding? Cloud sounded surprised. Guess the world's smaller than the servers we play on. They said goodnight soon after. Yet when Eli finally crawled into bed, he couldn't sleep. His mind replayed every sound of Cloud's voice, Every half-flirt he'd laughed off. He had friends, real, physical friends, but no one who knew him the way Cloud did. Still, the thought of meeting was terrifying. What if Cloud didn't like what he saw? What if the magic was only pixels and timing? Rain whispered against the window again. He glanced at his phone. One last message blinked from Cloud. See you offline, heartbeat. Chapter 2. Lag in Dole. Saturday came faster than Eli expected. The morning air smelled like wet pavement, and the sky had that gray-blue color that meant it would rain again. Perfect, he thought. The weather matched his nerve. The Evergreen Cafe was a small brick place near campus, half hidden under ivy. Through the windows he could see people typing on laptops, the hiss of espresso machines, steam curling in the air like ghosts of conversation. He stepped inside, the bell chiming above him. No one looked up. Just the hum of quiet music and the clink of cups. Eli scanned the tables. Cloud had said he'd wear a denim jacket and sit near the window. His heart thudded. Every denim jacket looked suddenly suspicious. Then, one of them turned, and his breath caught. No way. It was Liam Park, the smug guy from his marketing class, the one who always cut him off during group discussions, who'd once told him his presentation slides were painfully plain. And right now, Liam was waving him over. Ellie, Liam said, standing. No freaking way, you're. Cloudning, Eli finished weakly. The silence between them felt like lag, that awful frozen second before a game catches up. Liam's grin faltered, turning into something careful. Well, didn't see that plot twist coming. Eli dropped into the chair across from him. You're telling me. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Liam laughed, soft and incredulous. I can't decide if this is fate or punishment. Punishment, Eli said automatically, then smirked. Definitely punishment. That broke the tension. Liam snorted into his coffee, and Eli found himself laughing too, nerves bleeding out. So, Liam said, leaning forward. Now that we've established we hate each other offline and adore each other online, what's next? Eli toyed with his cup. Guess we figure out which version's real. Liam's gaze softened. Maybe both. Outside, rain started again, tapping lightly against the glass. They talked for hours, about games, classes, random memes, little details they'd never shared through screens. Eli noticed things he'd never paid attention to before, the tiny scar near Liam's temple, the way he stirred his coffee exactly 3 times, the warmth in his voice when he wasn't showing off. When the rain eased, they stepped outside together. Liam popped open a navy umbrella and held it out. Come on, heartbeat. Eli blinked. You remember that? Hard to forget when you never answered the message. Eli stepped under the umbrella, shoulders brushing. The space between them was small, full of static, not the kind that came from bad Wi-Fi, but the kind that hummed when 2 people weren't sure what to do with the closeness. Liam's voice dropped. You know, you're easier to talk to offline than I thought. That's because you can't mute me here. Liam chuckled. True, but if I could, modern. They walked in silence for a bit, sharing warmth and the faint smell of coffee. The umbrella tilted slightly, bringing them even closer. Eli glanced sideways. You flirt like you play, overconfident. And you blush like you lose, dramatically. He was right. Eli could feel his pulse in his ears. When they reached the campus gate, Liam hesitated. Hey, there's this indie game expo next weekend. Wanna go? Maybe prove we can hang out without trash talk? Eli smiled. You're assuming I'll still speak to you after this? Liam's grin turned softer, almost shy. Then let me earn the rematch. The rain had stopped completely now. Eli took a step back, heart still racing. We'll see, Cloud 9. See offline, heartbeat, Liam said again, and for the first time, Eli didn't mind the nickname. Chapter 3, Glitch. The following week blurred into messages and late-night calls. Eli hadn't meant to let Liam slip so easily into his offline world, but somehow he had. They met between classes, shared coffee runs, swapped playlists. The banter that once lived behind a headset now filled real spaces. The walkways, the cafe corners, the quiet stretches of evening when words ran out and looks said enough. On Friday, they met again at Liam's apartment to prep for the gaming expo. It was a small, tidy place, cluttered with monitors, half-built model kits, and that faint smell of cologne and instant noodles. Liam opened the door, barefoot, grinning. Welcome to my command center. Eli smirked. Smells like caffeine and poor life choices. Don't insult my brand. They laughed, settling into easy rhythm. But underneath it, something had changed, a new kind of awareness in the way their shoulders brushed when reaching for the same controller, or how Liam's voice dipped lower when teasing him. At some point, the laughter faded into a quiet that wasn't awkward, just charged. The only sound was the soft hum of the console fan, and the rain starting up again outside. Eli sat cross-legged on the rug, pretending to scroll through game settings. Liam dropped down beside him, close enough that Eli could feel the warmth from his arm. You always smell like coffee, Liam murmured. Eli's heart stumbled. That a complaint? Not really. More like something I'd miss if it wasn't there. Their eyes met. The air felt heavier, the world narrowed to the few inches between them. Eli tried to joke, to break it. You're not great at casual conversation, you know that? I'm not trying to be casual. Liam leaned closer, slow enough that Eli could pull away if he wanted. He didn't. He just watched, pulse fluttering in his throat. Then the lights flickered, a quick brownout. The console beeped and went dark. They both laughed, startled, tension spilling into soft relief. Perfect timing, Eli said, breathless. Guess the universe lagged, Liam said, still smiling. But he didn't move away. Instead, he reached out and brushed a damp strand of hair from Ellie's forehead, fingers barely touching. The gesture was small, but the silence after it felt vast. For a heartbeat, neither of them looked away. Then Liam said quietly, You should know something. I didn't plan on meeting you just to stay friends. Eli swallowed hard. That obvious? Yeah, but I wasn't sure if you wanted the same. Eli opened his mouth, and his phone buzzed. The screen lit up. A text from one of their mutual gaming friends. Dude, did you know Cloud used to date that streamer Luna? Eli's stomach dropped. He looked up, expression suddenly unreadable. Liam noticed immediately. What? Nothing, Eli said too quickly, pocketing his phone. I should go. Eli. But he was already standing. Thanks for the invite. See you at the expo. The door closed before Liam could say another word. Outside, the rain was harder than before, cold against his skin. Eli didn't know why it hurt. He had no right to feel betrayed, but it did. The warmth of that almost moment still lingered like static on his hands, and he couldn't tell if the ache in his chest was jealousy, confusion, or something dangerously close to love. Chapter 4, Reconnect. The weekend of the expo arrived like the end of a long loading screen. Eli had tried not to think about Liam, but everything reminded him of that night. The flicker of light, The quiet confession, the warmth that almost was. He'd convinced himself he'd imagined the whole thing, that it was safer that way. The expo hall was packed, noise and color everywhere, glowing monitors, booths, music pulsing through the crowd. He found their mutual friends by the indie showcase, laughing and shouting over the din. And then he saw Liam. Liam looked exhausted, a little pale under the lights, dark hoodie pulled up, scanning the crowd until his gaze caught Elias. For a second, neither moved. Then Liam made his way over, slow but certain. "Hey," he said, voice low. "Hey," Eli answered. Awkward silence. "You didn't text back," Liam said finally. "Didn't know what to say. How about, let's talk? Or even, you're an idiot." Eli's mouth twitched. "You're assuming I didn't think it." Liam smiled faintly. "I'll take it." He hesitated, then added, "About Luna. It was years ago. We streamed together, tried dating, didn't work. I wasn't hiding it to mess with you. I just didn't think it mattered anymore." Eli looked at him for a long moment, then sighed. "It didn't. Not until it suddenly did." They both laughed softly at that, the kind of laugh that breaks tension instead of adding to it. "Come on," Liam said, nodding toward the far corner. "Too many ears here." They slipped out into the back alley of the convention center. The air was cool, the city alive around them, cars hissing by, a flicker of neon from a noodle stand, a faint smell of rain again. Liam leaned against the wall. "You know, when we met online, I thought you were just another random teammate. I didn't expect this." Eli looked at him. This, Liam said, waving between them. "The fact that I can't play a single match without hearing your laugh in my head, or how I start typing something stupid just to make you roll your eyes." Eli felt his heart twist. That old mix of sarcasm and softness that only Liam could pull off. "You're really bad at being subtle," he murmured. "Yeah," Liam said. "So I'll just say it. I like you. I liked you before I knew your face, and I like you more now that I do." Eli stepped closer, the words sinking in like warmth after cold. "You're sure it's not just the lag talking?" Liam's grin flickered, gentle. "Pretty sure." The distance between them dissolved. Not a kiss, not yet. Just that closeness that hums, full of things unsaid but understood. Eli could feel the tension in his shoulders start to fade, replaced by something quieter, steadier. "You know," he said, "if we start dating, our friends are going to be unbearable." Liam laughed, voice low. "Then let's give them something to talk about." They stayed there for a while, the city noise fading into background music. Two people standing close enough to share breath, the world finally catching up to them. When they eventually walked back inside, shoulders brushing, lighter died. Eli didn't know where they'd go from here. Would that be tomorrow or next month? But for once, he didn't care. Somewhere deep inside, between the hum of servers and the sound of rain, something had clicked into place. Offline, heartbeat. They started as strangers behind screens, but found something real, a heartbeat that never lagged.